Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on this Friday afternoon with another edition of Johnny Davis Live. Ladies and gentlemen, really excited about our guest that we'll be bringing on here shortly today. He'll be checking in with us in just a moment. And Mr. Kru JT Smith is going to be talking about his Rock Steady program. And I tell you what, it's going to be really exciting, I think, for everyone who might be interested in him for their clubs and how he is fighting Parkinson disease, guys. I think it's going to be really exciting for a lot of people. There he is, Mr. JT Smith right there. How you doing, JT?
Doing great, Johnny. How are you?
Very good, very good. Thank you so much for joining me today on Johnny Davis Live. I thought that, it would be really interesting to bring you on today because I've been hearing a lot about your Rock Steady program that you've been doing. And but before we go into that, and which is a program that is helping out a lot of people with Parkinson's disease. One of my interest in that, JT, is because my family has actually been in senior care for 100 years, we have been, in nursing homes, adult day centers, and things like that. And I'm always excited to let people know about programs that include what we do, boxing and, conditioning and things like that. I'm always excited to be able to help people. And I think the fact that you have such an exciting program that you've joined in with, I think that that we need to let a lot more people know about this. But before we get started with that, I want you, JT, to take a few minutes and tell people about you and how you got into Muay Thai.
Wow. I started martial arts with Rick Davis out of Statesville, North Carolina years ago. And at the time, he was doing more traditional martial arts. And he got into kickboxing. And once he got into kickboxing, he was introduced to throwing round kicks by using your shins to make contact. And he really started digging into that. And this is like our mid to late 80s. So Muay Thai was not really well known, especially not here on the East Coast at the time. And so he started digging into it and found out that it was from Thailand was where that originated from. Then really started digging into it even more and found out, hey, there's a lot of good stuff here from Thailand. And before long, he jumped a plane, flew to Bangkok, and made some connections, and brought it back to here in North Carolina. And I was just very fortunate. I was at the right place at the right time when he kicked it off. So that's how I got into it.
I'm gonna age you a little bit, but how old were you then, JT?
Oh, I started martial arts when I was 15. So by the time he evolved into Muay Thai, I would say I was probably 17, 18 years old.
Well, so you were already, what style of martial arts were you in?
Originally, it was Taekwondo. But that was what was popular around here at the time was Taekwondo.
Right.
So, but he had already done a lot of boxing, a lot of other things. So, at the time that we talked about this before, there was a guy by the name of Robert Ng out of Kings Mountain who was doing kickboxing. So we got hooked up with him, and he kind of pulled us into the world of kickboxing, and then from there on,
Robert, he was promoting too, right?
Yes, he was putting on a lot of fights at the time. A lot of amateur fights are here in the area.
Right. I think I fought on one of his cards, which really dates me right now. But I think I fought on one of his cards. I certainly know who Robert Ng is. Make sure that he's still around, isn't he?
He's still around. I think he's gone into the ministry now. He's no longer martial arts.
Well, be sure that if you see him around, tell him I said hello.
I don't ever see him, but
oh, you don't ever see him? Okay. Well, Robert, if you ever check on the internet on Facebook, hey man, thanks a lot for your contributions to the sport because he was really into it and doing a lot of stuff. Tell me a little about you teach a Muay Thai club here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Tell me a little bit about your club here.
So yeah, it's been a very exciting journey. I retired from law enforcement, and prior to my retirement, I had already started a little club. Um, we started in March of 2016 with absolutely no budget at the time, and so
Yeah, most of us.
it was just a handful of people, and one of the gentlemen was Kru Matt Ryder. He's also a crew here at Lake Norman Muay Thai. So he's a former U.S. champion, and I reached out to him, and we got a group of people, started training in the local park underneath the picnic shelter.
Right.
And before long, a group of 7 people turned into a group of 15. And then we were getting closer to summertime, and it was like, we're going to get ran out of this park by the cops. So
Right.
we found a place to go, and a fitness center here in Mooresville. And once we got in there, our numbers bumped up, and we got to where we could afford our own place. And we moved in here on Highway 150 at Highway 21, and just been happy ever since. Still growing. I've truly been blessed, for sure.
Tell me about the makeup of your club right now. What kind of people you have training there?
Wow, it is such a diverse group, man. We've got some really good fighters. Some of them you've already met, like Jaden Noblezada. We got another guy by the name of Omar Raza, a kid named Calvin. A lot of young fighters right now. I was talking with Kru Chris Clodfelter a while back, and
Right.
you know how many fighters he's got. He's got fighters all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But I was talking with Chris, and he said, JT, he says, you don't start a club and automatically have fighters. You got to grow your fighters. You have to make them.
Yes.
And that really stuck with me. And so we have several fighters and several up and coming fighters, but we're still a young club. Like many places, most of my folks are not people who wish to compete.
Right.
They range in age from 6, 7 years old all the way up to 80 years old. I got an 80-year-old woman here training with me, and she's something.
Did you say 80?
Yes, sir. 80 years old.
80?
80. If you go to the Muay Thai YouTube channel, there's actually a segment on there with her.
Wow. Well, speaking of Chris Clodfelter, he's definitely really good trainer, someone who's really supportive of, I know, the events that we do here. And he does have a really strong program. I mean, this club is packed out with, people. You see him all the time on Facebook. But he's a nice guy. He's really a nice guy. He understands the sport. And you know what? The one thing I like about Chris as well is that he will put his fighters in there to fight. He doesn't really try to run around or run away from fights. He's a really good guy. I mean, he's trying to, get his guys fights because he sees the future. And another thing, he trains kids. And a lot of people for a long time, JT, did not train a lot of kids, in the area. And I'm glad to see that a lot more people like you are training kids now. Really important. Well, that's a nice segue when you said you had the 80-year-old student there into the Rock Steady program that you have there at your club. Tell us a little bit more about the program and what it's all about.
It was something I just kind of stumbled up on. I was a lot like many people. I knew about Parkinson's, and I knew it was a bad disease, but I didn't know a lot about it. I just knew it was something. It was one of the many things that are horrible out there, and it was, what could I possibly do about it? And so it existed. But I found Rock Steady on the internet, and I got to looking at it, and basically, Johnny, what they've discovered is that people with Parkinson's disease, they respond to a boxing style workout, and it helps their symptoms. So the exercises that you see in a standard boxing workout actually fights their symptoms. So one of the signature symptoms for Parkinson's is one of the hands will shake. They'll get what's called tremors. And
Right.
punching that you do on the heavy bags, the punching that you do on the focus hits, that actually helps fight that symptom. So it's not uncommon for them to start working those drills, and then over a period of time, all of a sudden the tremors have stopped.
Wow. Nice.
Another thing is they struggle with footwork. Well, what's one of the main things that you work on there in boxing? You're working your footwork, and so they restore their balance. It's another thing is, you know, some of these people are on walkers, and they come in and they start working them with different foot movements, and over time.
Okay. JT. Okay, all right. So you're gonna have to explain that a little bit to me, right? Because if they're walking with a quad, how are they working footwork in a quad?
Okay, so here's what I'll tell you. Many of these folks that are on walkers can actually function off of the walker. The walker is just used so they can be a little bit more mobile, a little bit faster. Okay.
Right.
But you can take that walker away from them and they can still maneuver. They're just slow maneuvering. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we get them off that walker, we pull them out here on the mat, and we start working them on footwork. And what happens is over time, they get more agile with their footwork. They get more comfortable, and over time, what happens is some of them, not all of them, are able to set those walkers off to the side and go back to walking.
Wow, that's extraordinary. I saw a picture of the lady, I think on one of the websites where she was beating the speed bag, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and the speed bag takes so much focus, right, and coordination to do that. I can only imagine how great that must be. Is there like something does it say anything specific about what, like just the speed bag alone by doing that, how that would help them out cognitively or whatever for seniors?
It's the same as working the bag or the focus mitts. It's just one of those drills that addresses the tremors. You know, it's just that it actually just goes after that particular symptom. So
well, I noticed that Clay Bridwell out of California's made a note that they have a similar program for kids with Down syndrome too over there.
Yeah.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Now you said it's mostly boxing techniques that you use in the program. What about elbows? What about, can they knee? I don't know if they can lift their legs up like that, but I know elbows are you, even though it's kind of like towards, they say it's boxing because I read it on the website, it's boxing, but you know, we're Muay Thai guys, right? Yeah. Do you kind of every now and then, you know, put in some elbows or something that they can probably do? I mean,
that's a very good question. And I actually had to go to Indianapolis to be trained. That's where this program's out of India.
Okay.
So those are some of the questions that I had when I got there. I was like, hey, listen, I'm a Muay Thai gym, and, you know, we're not a boxing gym, so they're going to have their shoes off when they're on the mat. And, I mean, seriously, I mean, those were some of the questions. And I said, and, you know, what about this? Can we do knees? Can we do elbows? They were like, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's what the thing is, it's forced exercise. It's these people exerting themselves. It encourages neuroplasticity, which is neuroprotective. Okay, that's what helps. It's the exercises that are boxing related is what addresses symptoms. So any type of forced exercise is going to be good for them. But when you do that forced exercise and you direct it towards a boxing style workout, that's what fights the symptom.
Wow. Man, I think this is amazing because, again, a lot of people, you know, struggle with this. A lot of our family members have struggled with things like this. It seems that you have, you know, you're a soft-spoken guy, JT, you know, really, you know, kind of easygoing. I'm just kind of curious about, is there something in your life that attracted you to being able to do something that helps out maybe in the right now Parkinson's, but maybe Alzheimer's, dementia? Do you have a personal story?
No, Johnny, I'll be honest. I really don't have a personal story. You know, I just kind of feel like every club, every martial arts school has its own identity. You know,
Yes.
eh, everybody's going to have something to say about that particular club. And what I wanted the identity for my club to be is, yes, they have some really good fighters out of that place, but that's also the place that's helping people. That's also the place helping people fight Parkinson's specifically. You know,
Wow.
so you know, there's a lot of we love Muay Thai. You know, people watching this are people that love Muay Thai, but it's gonna be hard to
Wow.
believe people out there don't really care for it. They don't think anything about it. Uh,
Sure.
Everybody, I haven't heard one person out there say, "I just love Parkinson's." That's something that
Right.
everybody can get behind, hating Parkinson's. And
Right.
I want the people in this community where I'm at, Mooresville, to know that yes, we have good fighters here, but we're also fighting Parkinson's. And like I said, the whole community can get behind that.
Well, you know, we are fighters. That's what we do. So we are fighting Parkinson's. And I think that that is a very, very noble cause. If somebody wanted to get involved with your program here in Mooresville, how would they do that?
Just contact us. You can go to LakeNormanMuayThai.com. We also have a Rock Steady Lake Norman Facebook page, or
Oh,
just do it the old-fashioned way. Just call me at 704-657-1080, and we can get them hooked up. But
well, there's going to be, yeah, there's going to be some gym owners probably somewhere across the country, not in your area, but maybe in so anywhere in the country here on Facebook or YouTube that might want to get involved with that program in their specific areas. How would they do that?
they would contact Rock Steady Boxing. All you got to do is Google it, and they're out there. They can bring you in and certify you. It's a 2-day seminar, and I got to tell you, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. But if you don't mind, just let me mention something about it as far as a business standpoint as well.
Please, please.
Um, you know, most boxing clubs that I know of, they may have some morning classes and they may have some afternoon classes, okay,
Right.
or evening classes rather. So that's how it was here at my place during the early afternoon to midnight.
Hmm.
There's nothing going on. I've I,
Right.
I've just got a gym with a bunch of heavy bags hanging here, and nobody.
Dead end, dead end. Right.
You know when these Parkinson's folks, you know when they're at their peak, early
Yeah.
after, and I stop and think, how many people are in the same shoes that I am, that they've got a facility where they could be helping these folks, recover,
Wow.
them get better,
Wow.
and
Wow.
we got all these people who need help, and we've got these places that can help them. So it's just a matter of getting the word out to these gym owners that, hey, this is out there. It can be profitable to you, and you can also help somebody who needs help.
Right. Do you need a provider number or anything for the doctors? Do they write prescriptions for it, or is it all private pay?
It's all private pay at this time,
Hmm.
but I can tell you, doctors are going to be they're going to be on your side. I mean, I've already been contacted by a couple doctors, therapists. The therapists they get um, they get paid. Insurance covers that, but
Right.
therapy only lasts for a certain period of time, and once that's over, these folks have to have a place to go. And when you get the therapist on your side and you get the doctors on your side, they're all pointing them your way. So it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said,
Right.
I'm already got rock steady brochures in some of our neurologist offices now,
Nice.
and it's it's still a new program, but it's growing. And like I said, it's filling in some of that dead time. So from a business standpoint, it's great.
Well, guys, I think Mr. Kru JT Smith just gave you another way to make money. You know, and that never can be a bad thing. So listen, I know that a lot of clubs struggle, you know, to do their passion and to make money at this thing. So I think that now you are offering a program that not only is a great, could be potentially a good, you know, money maker, but a great service to the community because our seniors deserve that. You know, seniors are, you know, are great people who have lives and they've given great contributions to this society, and many times they're forgotten. And I think that having a program like this is a great reason to, you know, it's a great cause for people who've given so much. And also, JT, I'm excited about your program. I hope that you will continue to do this. You are currently in the Mooresville, North Carolina area, and the name of your club is Lake Norman Muay Thai. So guys, if you have people who are affected with Parkinson's disease or just want to do Muay Thai and kickboxing,
Right.
you know, check out Mr. JT Smith there. He's also available here on Facebook. And he has a great program for you. He teaches men, women, and children and seniors, right? The sport of Muay Thai kickboxing. Is there anything else you would like to add, JT?
I just, like I said, I just want to reinforce, you know, that the program is out there, and you know, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it than just making money. You're actually, what's the value in giving somebody the ability to pick up their grandchild and hold their grandchild again?
Wow.
How much is that worth? You know, and that's what we're talking about, allowing somebody to be able to hold their grandchild, pick them up, you know, or allow somebody to be able to carry in their own groceries from their car. What's the value in that? You know, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about teaching somebody to fight. We're talking about giving somebody their life back. That's what we're talking about. And
wow.
there's really no value in that. I mean, it's priceless.
Right. You know what, JT? This is why I love this show. I love doing it. Hey, look, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I found that, wow, this takes a lot more time than I thought. But, you know, I enjoy doing it because I'm glad, because I know we have a lot of people who check this out. And to be able to bring something of this value, something a little bit different than just the fight stuff, you know, to our viewers, I'm excited about that. I'm really happy for you, and I'm really happy that you took the time to come on the show today. And I hope to be talking to you real soon, man. Congratulations, and we'll see you soon.
Sir, thank you for having me.
Thanks, JT. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had Mr. Kru JT Smith out of Mooresville, North Carolina here on the show on Johnny Davis Live today, talking about his Rock Steady program, and he's fighting Parkinson's disease, and we're so excited about that. If you need more information, contact Mr. JT Smith right here on Facebook or at Lake Norman, North Carolina. Gentlemen, thanks so much for watching us today. Check us out on YouTube as well as friend us on akpromotions.org or follow us on akpromotions.org. Davis Live. We appreciate you guys so much again for watching us. We want to thank again our sponsors, Eastern Offset Printing out of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina, for all of their support over the years. And remember, guys, registration is still going on for the IKF East Coast Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, October 5th and 6th. Guys, at the Crown Reef Conference Center, get registered today at akpromotions.org. Ladies and gentlemen, always forward march. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. Talk to you soon.